Hello students. So we will continue with that financial planning topic and we are going to see the concept of shares today. We will cover all kinds of questions in shares. Okay, before I start, my name is Santanu Das and I've been teaching from the last 27 years, and here I will try to make the concept as easy as possible for you. So let's start. Financial planning shares. So I've already written the questions of financial planning uh, regarding shares. So let's start solving the sum. The first sum is X purchased 100 shares of market value rupees 160. He paid a brokerage at the rate of 0.3%. At the rate of 0.3% means per share he has paid brokerage 0.3%. Sometimes they give you the brokerage for the full thing. Suppose they say rupees 50 was paid as a brokerage, then you have to just directly add that brokerage part. Now here it is mentioned he paid brokerage at the rate of 0.3%. Find amount paid for purchase of shares. How much did he pay? Now brokerage is 0.3%. Now remember, brokerage we calculate it on market price. Two very important thing, I will write it down. Brokerage is calculated on market price and dividend is calculated on face value. MP stands for market price, FV stands for the face value. So what would be the brokerage? Brokerage is going to be 0.3% of face value, of market value. So that is going to be 0.3 upon 100. Percent means always upon 100. Of means multiply, and market value of one share is 160 rupees. So we cancel this. So that comes to 16 3 is going to be 48 rupees. So rupees 4.8 or 4.80. So brokerage is rupees 4.8 brokerage per share is this. So the total value of one share is going to be the market value plus the brokerage that he has to pay. So that will come to, market value is 160 plus brokerage is 4.8. So that comes to 164.88 or 164.80 rupees he has to pay for one share. See, one again very important thing, whenever somebody purchases a share, so we add that brokerage part, and when we sell a share, that brokerage amount has to be given, so we have to subtract it from the value. Okay, so now total value of that one share is 164. So the amount paid will be equal to the value of one share into number of shares. So value of one share is 164.8 and he purchased 100 shares into 100. So that will come to 1648, and as there are two zeros, so we'll add two zeros to it, and the decimal is after 1 point, so answer is going to be 16,000. Okay, it's 0.3, so 16 0.8. Okay, so this is actually 0.48. This is going to be 0.48. So this will come to 0.48. So it's going to be 160.48. So 160.48 into, so 16048. Just write down that value, and you have two zeros, 100, so multiply it by 10. Multiply by 100, so two zeros. If it was 10, we would have added 1 0, and so now after two decimals you have to put the point. So the answer is going to be, conclusion, so purchase price of 100 shares is going to be, purchase price of 100 shares is rupees 16048. So that is how we find out the value of the shares. Sometimes they ask you the amount to find out the number of shares. That's also very simple. Then they give you the total investment and the price of one share. So you just have to divide it. There's another example we have taken. That is, Y bought 15 shares of face value 100 having market value rupees 180. Company gave 40% dividend on the shares. Find rate of return on investment. So dividend is 40%. Now, just now I wrote it. Dividend is on face value. So first need to calculate the dividend. So dividend is 40% of face value. So that's going to be 40 of one share. So 40% means upon 100 of face value. What is the face value of the share is 100 rupees. So 10. So he is going to receive 40 as dividend from one share. Now total he has 15 shares. So dividend on 15 shares, 15 shares is going to be 40 into 15. That comes to 600 rupees. Now what's the question? They've asked you, and what is going to be the market total price of 15 shares? Now, as you can see in this sum, no brokerage is considered. So we don't need to consider the brokerage. Like the case of the first example, I purposely took an example where brokerage is not given, so not considered. So what would be the total price of 15 shares? Market value of one share is 180 and he has purchased 15 shares. So 180 into 180 into 15. So that comes to 99,2700 rupees. This is his investment, amount he has invested in the shares. Now the question is the rate of return of investment. So how would you calculate the rate of return of investment? For any calculations where they ask you to find out the rate of anything, that is going to be whatever the earning or whatever the value upon the total value into 100, just like how you calculate percentage. So here rate of return is that is going to be the amount he earns is the dividend part, and investment into 100. So just calculate what is the dividend given to you. Dividend is given to you as 600 rupees and investment is 90. Just I'll check it. 4,519 18 0 7. Yeah, 27. So investment is 2700 into 100. So you cancel this. This will by 3. 3 9s are 27. 3 200s are 9 2s are 18. 9 2s are 18. 22.22%. So the rate of return on investment is going to be 22.22%. So this is how you're going to calculate the rate of return. So the third sum we are going to see is a comprehensive sum in which we have included everything so that it's going to be a total revision of the concept of shares. So what is the question? X purchased 200 shares of face value rupees 50 at a premium of rupees 100. He received 50% dividend on shares. After receiving the dividend, he sold 100 shares at a discount of rupees 10 and remaining shares were sold at a premium of rupees 75. For each trade, he paid brokerage rupees 20. Find whether X gained or lost by how much. Beautiful sum because everything included in it. Okay, so first of all, what he did was, actually there are three parts to this question. First is, instead of doing it vertically, I'll do it horizontally, side by side. so that you understand it better. So first of all, we will calculate his purchase price of the shares. Purchase price of the shares. But while you solve the sum, you should do it vertically down. So purchase price of the share, you see, the face value of the share is 50 and he paid a premium. Now premium means extra amount that you pay on a share. So the market value of one share is going to be equal to face value plus premium. Whenever it's a premium, you need to add it, and whenever it's a discount, we need to subtract from the face value. So face value is 50, premium is 100, means the market value of one share is 150. Now he purchased how many? He has purchased 200 shares. So the total CP, cost price of 200 shares. Now first let's write down cost price of 200 shares. That's going to be equal to market value of one share multiply by number of shares. So here market value of one share is 150 and number of shares he has purchased is 200, that is 30,000 rupees. 30,000 rupees. Now he had to pay a brokerage of 20 for this transaction. So the total cost price would be total cost price of 200 shares will be the amount he's paid for the shares plus the brokerage that he had to pay. So the total amount he had to pay is 30,020 rupees. So that is the purchase price of the shares. Okay. Now the selling price of the shares. Okay. Yeah. Let's find out the selling. No, we'll go step by step. So first he received a dividend. So dividend he has received. What is the dividend he has received? 50%. Now 50% on what value? 50 dividend on one share is going to be 50% on the face value. On face value, you receive the dividend. So 50 upon 100 into face value of one share is 50. So that comes to 25 rupees. So he receives 25 rupees as dividend on one share. Now he has received dividend on 200 shares. On 200 shares. So that's going to be equal to 25 into 200. That is, he has received 5,000 rupees in the form of dividend. Okay. Now, what he has done is he has sold the shares. Now, selling price after receiving the dividend, he sold 100 shares at a discount of 10 rupees. So, means the face value is 50. So, selling price of one share will be face value minus the discount. So that's going to come to 50 minus 10. That means he has sold it for 40 rupees one share. Now he has sold how many shares at that amount, that rate? He has sold 100 shares at that rate. So selling price of 100 shares is going to be equal to 40 into 100. So that comes to 4,000 rupees. But here, very important thing, he had to pay a brokerage for this, no? And every transaction he has to pay a brokerage of 20. Now this time the brokerage has to be paid to somebody, so that much amount has to be reduced from that. So minus 20, that is the brokerage. So therefore, selling price of 100 shares is going to be equal to rupees 3,980 rupees. So that's how he sold the 100 shares. After receiving the dividend, sold 100 shares at a discount of 10, and remaining shares, remaining means total there were 200 shares, and out of that 100 shares are sold at that rate. Remaining means selling price of remaining, that is 100 shares, remaining 100 shares. So that's going to be equal to what rate did he sell? He sold at a premium of 75 rupees. So this time face value plus premium. If it's a premium, you add it. So face value plus premium. So that's going to come to face value plus premium. Face value is 50 plus premium is 75. It means he has sold each share for 125 rupees. So selling price of 100 shares is going to be equal to 125 into 100. That is 12500. That's 12,500. Again, for this transaction, he has to pay a brokerage of 20 rupees. So therefore, what is the price at which he actually, the amount he received actually is going to be rupees 12480. So we have got three values. These are the amounts he has received: 5,000, 3,980 and 12,480. 12,000. So total amount received, that's going to be the third part of our question. Total amount received, or we can say the selling price, total selling price is going to be equal to 5,000 plus 3,980 plus 12,480. So that comes to, just add 0, 16, 1 carry, 10, 14, 6. Why don't I just write it? 12,380, 5,000, 0, 16, 10, 14, 8, 10, 11. So he sold it for 21,460 rupees. So if he has sold it for 21,460 rupees, what is the amount he has received? Therefore, his purchase price of the share was 30,020 and he sold it for 21,460. That means, first question, what is the first question? Did he gain or lost? Yeah, obviously, as he is selling for a lesser amount than what he has paid for the shares, therefore he has made a loss. As selling price is less than cost price, therefore X has made a loss. Now, how much is his loss? So loss is going to be equal to selling cost price minus selling price. So what is the cost price of his shares? That was 30,020 minus selling price of the shares, that is 21,460. Just subtract it, 0. When you take 1 from here, this number becomes 9. And whenever a number becomes 9, you just cancel the next number also. But again, this number, as it was 0, it has become 9. So you'll go on cancelling till you get a number from which, a natural number. So you got 2. So this comes to 6, 5, 8. So what is the loss he has made in the full transaction? He has made a loss. What was the final question? By how much he made a loss? Therefore, he made a loss of rupees 8,560. So this is how the share sums are done. We have taken an in-depth sum. So you practice this sum and you'll be able to do any sum based on this type of questions. I hope you understood the topic. Thank you for watching the video.